Hey there, I'm Nick with Rockaway, the residential account manager and your SiteRecon expert. I'm going to be going over different aspects of SiteRecon, how to use it not only in our office but also in our field. So we're going to jump right now into how to measure a property, and then we'll look at later how to, in the field, use the SiteRecon app. And we're going to end with generating reports and sending those out to our customers. So now we'll show you how to order out a property on SiteRecon. The easiest way to do this is from your desktop. So the first thing you're going to want to do is go into our LMN CRM system. You're going to want to look up your customer. So today we're going to do Mrs. Johnson here. Her address, 212 38th Ave South. So now we're going to go into SiteRecon, and there's a nice little button up here that says New Property. It's a single property. It'll bring us up. So we're going to go to 212 38th Ave South, Jacksonville Beach. It will auto-populate certain addresses, so it should come up pretty quickly for you. You go ahead and click into that, and it'll start bringing it up. So once you know that this is the address that you're looking for, you're going to want to go ahead and confirm it on this left-hand panel right here. And that's when you start getting into the better imaging as well as your parcel size. Now, most of the time you will have to adjust this parcel a little bit, and you should be able to do this just from the image that you have. So on our left panel here, we've got this nice modify tab. It will bring you points up to where the parcel is now. So now we can start dragging this parcel around. I can see that it comes way over here. I can see there's a nice little fence line that I can follow. And I'll try and get as close as I can to what I think is going on over here. This is probably their property as well. Don't be afraid to over measure on the parcel. The software itself will start picking up the turf and the mulch and all those things on its own. Now, once you think that you've got a pretty good parcel, you can go ahead, and there's a nice little button up here that says done. You'll want to click that. It'll go ahead and put your red lines back on your parcel. Then you'll want to come back here to your left tab. You're going to want to confirm that parcel. We'll go ahead and add our customer's name. And we'll also, I like to do a description of the services here, whether it's residential maintenance or a landscape consult, anything like that. You're going to go ahead and save it, which will bring you up to the next menu, which is what you wanted to measure. Most of the time we'll just want turf and mulch beds. You can get really elaborate with what it does measure. We usually use those for things like commercial properties and that kind of thing. So for the most part, the two main things you always want are your turf and your mulch beds. You can go ahead and click on your done button. It'll generate all this. It'll usually give you a good estimate of how long it should take. And you can click lastly your get measurements button, and it'll create the request, send it through, and now you should have your measurements in an hour or so. Hey there, Nick with Rockaway here. We're going to show you how to use our Play-Doh app for all of your on-site needs. So first, we're on our iPad. We'll go ahead and get into our Play-Doh app itself. This is a general view of what you'll see when you first open it. It'll start with the newest properties that you've put onto the system first. So I will go ahead and go into one that I recently did. This is a large property down in Ponte Vedra Beach, but basically you pull it up, it's going to give you a satellite image of the property. In ordering it out, we will have lots of information, turf square footages, mulch bed square footages. This will also count things like palm trees, hardwoods, hedges, everything like that. So the way that you would use this software if you were on site would be to create notes, more or less. You can see on here that I have notes, they're all numbered. The way that you create a note would be this little add button. It'll pull up your create a note screen. During a quality assurance visit, we'll have templates here that you can use, but generally for a on-site consultation, you can begin typing what you're trying to convey on this report. So I'll show you a note here, something that I put saying that we would need pruning. This Canary Island date palm, make sure that it gets pruned off the walkway. I took a nice picture because currently there are lots of fronds on the walkway itself. You move through different notes. I think this was a enhancement opportunity that the customer and I had spoke about, and I wanted to make note of it. took a good picture. Currently it's just a kind of a blank pebble bed. Wanted to instead turn that into a salt tolerant planting area. And then a lot of these other ones are kind of just a visual representation of what the property looks like currently, access points, different things like that. So now we'll go and run to a recent quality assurance visit that I did, which would be, let me find a QA. Oh, something else would be if you're looking for a specific property, you can click on your search tab and you can begin pulling up a specific property that you have in mind. Go to one of our smaller commercial properties, Beach Drifter here. You can of course click in to this tab right here. It'll initially just show you what they call the base view, which is a lot of your measurements and things like that. But if you do need to find other stuff, I went and did an enhancement consultation with them. I've done several QAs for them now, so you can go ahead and take a look at all of those. So in terms of a QA, you'll notice that there's not just notes on here, but these are some of our templates that we use. The first one would be a overall property assessment. This is a great general review for the customer, letting them know how their turf quality is, how the bed weeds are, whether or not the edging's looking good, if they have lots of turf weeds or if we really have them under control, as well as the general health of their shrubs. The next thing that you would see is what we call our action plan, which really goes over what we plan on doing with this report once we leave and send it to the client. So you can see that any maintenance issues will be resolved in 30 days. If they would like any proposals, any solutions for the proposals that we've listed, we usually list those. If there are any warranty items, which doesn't happen too much, we'll go ahead and put those in here as well. And then we always like to follow up with these with a phone call within 7 days. So you can find those, you're going to create a note just like you would any other, but instead you'll be using a template. So you'll see that you have the overall property assessment. These are all slider bars, which go from very, very bad to excellent. And you can move down, edging, all those kinds of things, turf weeds. You can also on these add pictures. This will bring up your camera. You'll be able to take a picture, whether it's a bad turf weed area, a dying shrub, edging that is poorly done or not done at all, different things like that. If you are very quickly doing a consultation for somebody and you have not already ordered out your Plato report, you can click this plus button. You can search any address. We'll go ahead and type in our address here. And it will go ahead and let you find that property for you. You can go ahead and create it. And then from there, you can start taking notes on that property pretty quickly. So it'll give you a general view. You can start taking notes. This will give you that satellite image of your property. You can go ahead and start taking your notes. The real thing that it won't give you on this is your measurements. So it will tell you how big the parcel is, which sometimes in this view, it doesn't have the exact parcel. Like our parcel here actually extends a little further and does not extend to the right there. But it will at least give you the opportunity to take notes on this property while you're in the field. And then once you get back onto the desktop version, you can go ahead and order it out. It'll do those measurements for you, and you'll still have all your notes that you took on site. That should give you a pretty good overview of how to use Plato out in the field. If you do have any questions, please find myself or your manager, and they'll be more than happy to show you how to work through those issues. So now we'll show you how to generate a report on SiteRecon from our tablet and how to send that to a customer. So we're in our quality assurance visit report. We'll bring this up. It'll show us all of our notes. There's a little button on the side here. It kind of looks like an export button. You click that, it'll show you everything. If you want to take some notes out, you can go ahead and do that while you're here, but for the most part, you're going to keep everything in. Make sure that you're exporting as a PDF, and then once that's all good, you can hit your export button. It's going to ask you to name it. Usually what I like to do is name it with the site name, which would be Beach Drifter, then what we're doing, which is a QA visit. I usually like to give the date, which today is the 14th, and put that through. And then initially, I like to put my initials in here as well, just so that we all know who did it. So then you hit your confirm button. This will generate your report and then send it to your email associated with your account. And that's it.